Welcome everyone from wherever you are tuning in from. I'm happy to be coming to you live from Sedona, Arizona this Easter Sunday, or perhaps you're seeing this as a replay through the miracle of modern technology. So thank you for coming together, and we are coming together as a group. Our energy is coming together even if we don't know the other people who are joining us. This is very much a co-created event, so welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining your energy. And we're going to give a few minutes for people to come on. And first off, I want to say thank you to John and the Humankind Center for hosting us this evening. And his website is humankind.center, and he will have more upcoming live stream events and eventually many different kinds of content in the realms of spirituality and healing. But first, I'm going to mostly be focusing on the live streams. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Eric. I've been practicing massage and energy healing and teaching both for over 25 years now. And I've had a interest in spirituality and healing and mystical things since I was a child. I spent a lot of time alone in the woods by myself. And I also had an interest in Yeshua or Jesus from a young age. So I grew up in Tennessee. My parents took us to a Unitarian Universalist church. All Unitarian churches are a little different. Some are a little more Christian than others, but it's not a hard sell on Jesus. He's certainly revered as a spiritual teacher and a good example, but it wasn't something that was talked about every Sunday. I certainly wasn't told I was going to go to hell if Jesus didn't save me. So it wasn't being forced upon me, but I had an internal interest in Yeshua nonetheless, even though no one was imposing that on me. And my family, we lived in Germany for a year when I was about 8 years old and traveled quite a bit, got to go to many cathedrals and churches, and that was such an amazing experience for me to be in those places of worship, to feel the energy that had probably built up for hundreds of years or more. So I think that ignited or reignited something in me. Who knows, maybe it was a past life as a monk or a priest. And I would buy little things in the gift shop, and I was fascinated with the relics that were at some of the cathedrals. And when I got home at around age 9, I actually created an altar in my closet. I had some things I had purchased in the gift shops. I had some cards with pictures of Jesus or God. I made a little pot for holy water. I made it out of clay. I had that there. My holy water was just from the tap, but hey, it's the thought that counts. And I had a plastic glow-in-the-dark Jesus. So I would go in there, light my candle, hang out. I guess I was meditating or praying. And when I blew the candle out, the plastic Jesus was glowing in the dark, so that was a cool special effect. And then for years would go by when I didn't think about Yeshua or Jesus, but it's his presence, his influence seems to keep coming back. And it's like, oh yeah, I need to tune into Yeshua again. And I remember as a kid, with even the Christian religions, the different denominations can't agree on the correct interpretation, and I feel like there's been a lot of dogma and misinterpretation of the true teachings of Yeshua, which is about love and forgiveness and spirituality, not about condemnation or those people aren't good enough kind of attitude. So I finally decided, if even the Christians can't decide on the right version, how am I supposed to? I don't think God is expecting me to figure it out if even the Christians are arguing over all these little intricacies of dogma. So the point being, I've developed what feels like an internal relationship with Yeshua over the years. It's not based on dogma, not based on a need for anybody to explain things to me or to be there. but it's something that we can have a direct connection with. And isn't that what Yeshua taught, that we can have a direct connection with the divine, with Great Spirit, God, the one source, whatever you want to say. That's what got him into trouble, right? He said, you don't necessarily need all this hierarchy, et cetera, et cetera. You can go right to God. So when I meditate, sometimes I ask for Yeshua to sit right in front of me. And that's almost might be considered blasphemous. We're often taught, well, Jesus is up there, we're down here, he's not an equal. And sure, he may be more spiritually advanced, but I feel he wants to pull us up, right? Not push us down. So the idea of sitting right across from Yeshua is very, very intimate. And I started doing that in meditation some years ago. And when I was doing that once and was beginning to meditate with him, all of a sudden I saw myself sitting in a cave. And I thought, what are we doing here? This is kind of dark and spooky. It wasn't something I was trying to visualize. And then I had this feeling, oh, this is how he used to do it. He used to take us into the caves where it was secret and safe, and in the womb of Mother Earth, a sacred place for initiation or ritual or ceremony or communing with him. So I have no proof that this is true, but hey, weren't the Dead Sea Scrolls found in some caves? And there are a lot of caves in that part of the world. And again, I wasn't trying to imagine this. So the fact that it came to me without me trying to visualize that makes me wonder if there might be something to it. So in our guided meditation journey tonight, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go into this cave together. I'm going to guide you in there. And I'm going to be open to how I'm guided to lead the meditation and the experience, but I promise you we will get to a point where there is going to be just silence. I'm going to let you have your own experience of Yeshua after we get into the cave. So when you're in that silence, what you do is up to you. You cannot even think about it till you get there, or perhaps you have something you want to discuss with Yeshua, receive his blessings or receive healing. So what you end up doing once you're in the cave is very much up to you. I'm just going to look at my notes real briefly to see if there's anything I'm forgetting to mention. I don't think so. So what I'd like to do, instead of just diving right into the cave, I'd like to share a few inspirational readings about Yeshua and the Christ consciousness from Paramahansa Yogananda. I'm sure some of you have heard of him. He's very widely known for his book, Autobiography of a Yogi, which was written over 50 years ago, closer to 70, I believe. So Paramahansa Yogananda, so here is a man from India who did not grow up in Christianity, who grew up in the Hindu tradition, but he honors and understands Yeshua to be a great spiritual teacher for planet Earth. So I think it's very interesting to hear the perspective of somebody outside of traditional dogma who has a spiritual understanding of Yeshua. And I do not feel that I can improve on what he has to share, so I'm not going to try. I would just like to read a few readings from him. It's just a page or so that I hope you also find to be inspiring and that kind of set the stage for our meditation. The first one reads, "The consciousness of Jesus was transferred from the circumference of the body to the boundary of all finite creation in the vibratory region of manifestation. The sphere of space and time encompassing planetary universes, stars, the Milky Way, and our little solar system family of which the Earth is a part, and on which the physical body of Jesus was just a speck. Jesus the man, a tiny particle on Earth, became Jesus the Christ, with his consciousness all-pervading in oneness with the Christ consciousness." So that reminds us, Christ is not Jesus' last name. The Christ part, of course, is recognizing that Jesus embodied the Christ consciousness. "To receive Christ is not accomplished through church membership, nor by outer ritual of acknowledging Jesus as one's Savior, but never knowing him in reality by contacting him in meditation. To know Christ signifies to close the eyes, expand the consciousness, and so deepen the concentration that through the inner light of soul intuition, one partakes of the same consciousness that Jesus had. The divine power of Christ realization is an internal experience. Remember, Christ seeks the temples of true souls. He loves the quiet shrine of devotion in your heart where you abide with him, there in the sanctuary aglow with the vigil light of your love. Those who meditate devoutly will receive Christ on the altar of calmness in their own consciousness. And again, these are all from Yogananda. Spiritual truth and wisdom are not found in any words of a priest or preacher, but in the wilderness of inner silence. The Sanskrit scripture says, quote, "There are many sages with their scriptural and spiritual interpretations apparently contradictory, but the real secret of religion is hidden in a cave." End quote. So there's the cave. True religion lies within oneself, in the cave of stillness, in the cave of calm intuitive wisdom, in the cave of the spiritual eye. And one final reading from Yogananda. As Jesus received and reflected through his purified consciousness the divine sonship of Christ consciousness, so also every person, by yoga meditation, can clarify their mind and become a diamond-like mentality who will receive and reflect the light of God. That last part is so beautiful, I'd like to read it again. So also every person, by yoga meditation, can clarify their mind and become a diamond-like mentality who will receive and reflect the light of God. Let's take a breath. And I'd like to give you a moment to just move around a little bit. If you'd like, I have one more reading, this one from Khalil Gibran, that I'd like to share with you. So feel free to move around or shake a bit before we go into meditation, but I want to read this beautiful reflection from the poet Khalil Gibran, who also hails from the Middle East. One of his most famous books is The Prophet, which you may know of. So these are his reflections on prayer, on going within, and I think it sets a beautiful stage for the journey we're going to do this evening. So this is an excerpt from that poem. It's not the entire one. This is his poem on prayer. Then the priestess said, "Speak to us of prayer." And he answered, saying, "You pray in your distress and in your need. Would that you might also pray in the fullness of your joy and in your days of abundance. For what is prayer but the expansion of yourself into the living ether? And if it is for your comfort to pour your darkness into space, it is also for your delight to pour forth the dawning of your heart. And if you cannot but weep when your soul summons you to prayer, she should spur you again and yet again through weeping until you shall come laughing. When you pray, you rise to meet in the air those who are praying at that very hour, and whom save in prayer you may not meet. Therefore let your visit to that temple invisible be for naught but ecstasy and sweet communion. So we're now ready to begin our journey together. I'm going to lead us through a little relaxation, a little meditation. We're going to enter the cave together. And as I said, I'm allowing this to be a little open-ended. I'm going to ask to be guided appropriately for all of you to guide this journey as we call on the Christ light in the presence of Yeshua. And there will be a point in the journey where I will stop talking and let you have your own experience. And then I will gently bring you back out of that experience. So you don't have to worry about when is this over. There will be a period of silence for you to have your own communion with Yeshua in your own personal way. And then I will also guide you out of that. So as we begin our meditation journey now, I would like to share with you a prayer from another one from Yogananda, which goes like this. And you can close your eyes if you'd like. O blazing light, awaken my heart, awaken my soul, ignite my darkness, tear the veil of silence, and fill my temple with thy glory. I'll repeat that once more. You can repeat it silently to yourself if you'd like. O blazing light, awaken my heart, awaken my soul, ignite my darkness, tear the veil of silence, and fill my temple with thy glory. So allow yourself to be seated comfortably, or you may lie down if you wish. So let's take a couple moments to get comfortable. I want to try to remain still during the meditation journey, so please use any pillows, supports, blankets, whatever you need to do to be comfortable. And let's take a couple moments to check in with our body. Let's do a little progressive relaxation. Let's squeeze the face very tight, squeeze the eyes and the nose and the mouth tight, 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 and relax them. Once again, squeeze your face and relax. If you'd like, you can open your face, open your eyes, even stick out your tongue. And relax your face once again. Just allowing the forehead, eyes, jaw to be relaxed. And let's now make fists with our hands. Squeeze your hands, squeeze your arms. Let's lift our shoulders up, squeeze and lift. Breathe and pull your shoulders down and relax your arms. You can give them a gentle bounce if you want. Let's gently move our head around a little bit, side to side or in a slow circle. Not a crazy stretch, just a gentle hello, a gentle relaxation for our body. Breath is moving. And if you're sitting, if it would feel good to lean forward, you can certainly do that. Leaning forward maybe. And then slowly rolling back up to sitting. Slowly rolling up. As you roll up, relax your shoulders, letting your body be heavy. Sinking into your chair or whatever you're sitting or lying on. Seeing that your lower back and pelvis and hips are relaxed. Legs relaxed. You can give your legs a squeeze if you want, or you can tighten and release your feet and ankles, or you can do some ankle circles, or shake your legs a little bit, or bounce your feet on the floor, move your body a little bit, wiggle, wiggle, shaky, shake. And relax. Just doing some of that shaking just lets us let go of any unconscious holding. Checking in, seeing that your body is at ease, face relaxed, eyes, forehead, jaw relaxed, shoulders and arms relaxed and heavy, back, hips and legs relaxed, feet and ankles relaxed. Allowing your weight and your energy to drop down, down, down through your body, through your legs and feet, into the earth. So gently bringing yourself into the present time and place, allowing yourself to surrender to gravity, grounding down, letting yourself be supported by the earth and by gravity. And now that the body is relaxed, let's take some deeper breaths. So a few slow, full, deep breaths. Slow, full inhalations and slow, full exhalations. When you inhale, expanding your abdomen, and then moving the breath up to the lungs, remembering the lungs expand in all directions, front, side, back, as well as up. When you exhale, let's push all the air out of our lungs and your abdomen, pushing all the air out. When you push all the air out, it makes it much easier to take a deep breath, expanding the abdomen, moving that up to the lungs. Slowly exhaling, pushing all the air out at your own pace. You don't need to follow me. Couple more slow, full, deep breaths, noticing each breath can get a little slower and a little fuller than the previous breath. Expanding the abdomen and rib cage in all directions. Pushing all the air out when you exhale. Good. And now let's allow the breath to relax, moving from an active breath to a passive breath. Quite miraculous that the breath is both voluntary and involuntary. So right now, allowing your body to breathe for you, allowing your body to find its own comfortable pace of breathing with no effort. Face relaxed, body relaxed, breath relaxed. Good. In this relaxed state, we now call forth the white light around us and the violet flame of purification. We call forth this sacred protective space around you, around yourself, and around all of us. Even though we're in different places, we're still coming together as a group. We call this white light and violet flame around us as individuals and around our group. Whether you are participating live or watching this as a recording, call forth that light of healing and protection around us individually and collectively. We call forth our guides, angels, and masters. We ask that this journey, this experience is guided by divine love and wisdom, and that it is adjusted for each person based on their own needs and guided by their own higher self and divine love and wisdom. So we are having a collective experience, and we are also having an individual experience. We ask for the support of the light around us. Yourself to breathe into that light, allowing the white light to not just flow around you, but to you and through you, Allow yourself to be bathed in this light as it also cocoons you in light. Allowing this healing light to flow to you and through you, flowing through your whole body and your energy field, your mental self, your emotional self, your spiritual self. All levels of your being, known and unknown to the conscious mind, we ask for this white light to flow through all layers of our being, permeating us and surrounding us in this cocoon of light, providing healing, protection, spiritual activation, all guided by divine love and wisdom in the higher self of each person participating. Just allowing yourself to enjoy the feeling of being bathed in this light. And now it is time to enter the cave. So you're approaching the mouth of this cave. Just allow it to appear before you. See what color it is, what color the outside of the cave is, what color the rocks are. You can touch the outside wall. Notice the size of the opening of the cave. Is it above your head, or do you need to stoop to enter it? So if you haven't already, placing a hand on the outside of this cave where the opening meets the rock wall. And simply by placing your hand on the opening of the cave, you can feel it's a special sacred place. You can actually feel energy entering your body even though you've not yet entered the cave. You know this is a safe place. You know this is a secret place to which you've been invited. You know that this is a sacred place. And you have been invited here, so when you are ready, you can enter the opening of the cave. Perhaps you have to duck, or perhaps you can just walk in. And it's dark, feels a little cool, with a wonderful scent of earth. You feel safe. The dark is comforting. You're in the womb of the mother. And a little bit ahead of you, a little further into the cave, you can see a light flickering. Perhaps it's a candle, perhaps it's a little fire, perhaps it's a lantern. You can feel this light drawing you closer, so you walk slowly towards this light, feeling a warmth coming over you, a warmth that is greater than the light being put out from this flame. You realize that the warmth is an energy that's drawing you closer. You continue to walk towards this flame, and as you do, you feel more and more comfortable, more and more safe, more and more relaxed, with a wonderful feeling of anticipation. You're entering a sacred space and a sacred experience, and that you are blessed to be here. It's very quiet in this cave. A beautiful silence. Coming close to the flame now, it's time for you to sit down. So you sit down, comfortable distance from this flame. And you know who has invited you here this evening. You know why you have come. And you see a shadow of a figure just around the corner in the cave. You see this shadow moving. You see the shadow growing, and you know that somebody is walking towards you, and you're very glad to be here, to be the guest of the person who's coming towards you. And the shadow and the movement get bigger. But the figure is still around the corner of the cave. But you're seated, receptive, open, knowing that you have been called here, that you've been invited. And you know who's about to come around the corner. Yes, it's Master Yeshua, Jesus, Isa as he was called in the East. Some refer to him as Sananda now. You know he's about to step around the corner to greet you. And so he does. He steps around the corner and stops and looks at you. He is simply looking at you. He doesn't say a word. Simply gazing into his eyes is a blessing. So just enjoy that for a moment. Simply staring into his eyes. You can feel his warmth. You can feel his love for you. You can feel him beginning to communicate with you without words, for he is not speaking. The more he gazes into your eyes, the more your heart opens. And you start to feel his presence within you as he steps closer and closer, until he is standing in front of you, and it feels so good to be looking up at him, because he is looking down upon you with so much love, so much understanding. Yes, universal love, but understanding about you in a very personal way that feels simultaneously very revealing, but so comforting. knowing that He has a deep understanding of your trials, your tribulations, what you may consider to be failures or wrongdoings or regrets. He sees it all, and He gazes upon you with so much love. That none of this matters. Your regrets don't matter. Your perceived wrongdoings don't matter. All the times you have felt wronged or betrayed or abused start to dissolve in His presence. It feels so good to look up at Him because He is gazing down upon you with so much love and understanding and compassion. Allow yourself to drink that in, not just through your eyes, but through every cell of your being. What a blessing to be in His presence, to receive His blessing. You see Him now moving His right hand towards you but above you, with you sitting before Him, and He places it on your head, on your crown. Simply allow yourself to receive. For He knows that which you need. He knows the longings of your heart, the longings of your spirit, your wounds, your weaknesses, your strengths. The wonderful thing about being with Yeshua is not really concerned about our perceived strengths, weaknesses. He already knows what they are. But just by being in His presence, they don't have as much power over us. Anything you'd like to drop away, now is a great time to do that. Allow yourself to breathe in the energy coming from His hand into your head. Does that feel good? Radiant warmth coming upon you, going down, filling your head, your eyes, your brain. This light of love and healing flowing down to your shoulders, your arms and hands, flowing down your spine and torso, flooding all of your organs and tissues and bones and muscles with this luminous light. This Christ light flowing down into your pelvis and legs and feet. And now Yeshua removes His hand from your head, and he sits down with you, right across from you. It feels so good to have him sit with you, to look into his eyes directly. Such love, such grace, such transformational, transmutive energy. Simply by being in his presence. Allow yourself to be open to whatever blessings he has to share with you. You may want to lean into him so that your forehead touches his. You may want to place your right hand on his heart center as he places his right hand on your heart center. You can place your left hand on top of his right hand, which is over your heart, and he may place his left hand over your right hand, which is on his heart. Find a way of connecting with Yeshua that feels good to you. Yes, it is okay to touch him. He is here for you. Allow yourself to connect with him in the way that feels right to you, or he may do that for you. Allow yourself to experience whatever touch, he would like to share with you in this moment, that you would like to share with him. Through the touch, the spiritual and energetic blessings can come through into the physical body, into your being now. You may want to see light coming from his forehead into yours and permeating your entire body. You may want to connect your heart chakra with his. You may want to connect all your chakras. You may ask for his light of love and wisdom and understanding and compassion and healing to flow into your being through all of your chakras, or through your crown, bathing your body, going through your root. So be open to communing with Yeshua energetically, physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, in whichever ways feel right to you. And soon my voice will leave you so that you can continue to have your own experience with Yeshua, your own inner communion in the cave of the Christ. You may simply open to receive whatever he has to share with you. You may have an inner dialogue. You may have questions. You may ask for healing for yourself or others or the planet. You may ask for understanding. You may ask to heal the past. You may ask for forgiveness. You may ask to clear and forgive those who have hurt you. It is up to you. and Yeshua, how you spend this time in communion. Allow yourself this blessed communion. Yeshua may also anoint you. He may anoint your hand, your head, your heart, your hands, or your feet. Simply be open to the blessings He has to share with you at this time. This experience may feel like a remembering, something that you know deep within your being, deep within your soul. It may feel like you've been here before or done this before. Perhaps you have. journey in the cave, you may find that you're lying down. Yeshua may be anointing you, initiating, just being open to however He guides the experience for you. Others in the cave with you. It may just be you and Yeshua. Or this may be a group experience in the cave. Just see if there are others there too, participating in this ritual, this communion. And allow for any final message or communication or blessing or anointing that Yeshua may be granting you, knowing that the time for this ceremony, this communion to come to a close is nearing. Any final thing you want to communicate or ask of Yeshua? Is there any final thing Yeshua wants to communicate to you, or do for you, or show to you, or say to you? Speak and listen with your heart. For that is where Yeshua touches us most deeply. Perhaps once again you may gaze into His eyes. As He's completing His time with you, for this communion. How good it feels to be blessed by His gaze. And He's letting you know that you can always come back here. You can always come back here. It's simply a matter of setting aside the time, the intention, allowing the space for Him to enter for Him to be with you. He can only be with us in this way if we allow space for it. Space in time, space in our mind, space in our bodies and heart. Yeshua letting you know that He will be leaving soon. Allowing for any final blessing or communication. Anything you want to say from your heart to His. Certainly deep gratitude for the blessing of this time together. He brings His hands together in prayer and He bows to you. And in return you do the same. You bring your hands together in prayer and you bow to Him. And as you do so, He turns away from you and walks back deeper into the cave slowly. And you see Him going around that corner from whence He came. And you are left sitting in the cave with the fire before you. With a great sense of the deep experience that you have just had in your mind and body and spirit, taking a moment to look into the flames and breathe. And what a wonderful feeling that with this deep communion, it's not even hard to see Him go, because it reminds us that He is always with us as long as we allow the time and space for Him in our life, in our mind, in our body, and in our heart. Feeling so full from the blessing of this experience, knowing it's about time for you to leave the cave, so you begin by slowly, gently standing up as you look into the fire. And yes, it's okay to leave the fire. Yeshua will attend to it after you leave. You bow to the fire, you bow to the sacred space in this cave, in the womb of the mother. And you turn from the fire, and slowly you begin to walk out of the cave. Being reborn, going through the rebirth canal as we're making our way out of the cave. And it's dark before you, but you can see little flecks of light in the mouth of the cave. And as you're walking towards the entrance, you realize that these are stars. You enter the cave, you come out to a glorious scene. The heavens lit up by the stars. Looking up with gratitude to the stars, feeling as expanded as the stars themselves, knowing you are part of all creation, knowing that Yeshua reminds us, connects us, helps us experience the greater spirit of which we are all a part. For his message is not him. He came to not speak of himself. He came to speak of the glories of spirit that are available to us all, if we simply allow the time in our lives, in our hearts, in our minds, in our bodies, in our spirits. It is now time to gently transition back to the place you began, the chair, the floor, the bed, the couch, the ground, whatever surface you're on, beginning to breathe yourself back to your body, to the place you began your journey, calling back all parts of yourselves, calling your own energy back to your body, leaving behind anything you no longer need, anything that has been cleansed, breathing your own energy back to your body, breathing yourself back in, maybe moving gently when you're ready, knowing that your body, your mind, your spirit have all been renewed, coming into a new body, a renewed body. Bringing your spirit and the greater spirit back into your body. Bringing these blessings back into yourself right here, right now, wherever you are, knowing those blessings of spirit are with you and will go forward with you. And I would like to conclude our ceremony this evening with a reminder that Yeshua said, "These things shall ye do and more," or something to that effect, reminding us, yes, we can ask him for guidance. Yes, we may even feel like bowing to him, but he came so that we can be more like him. He came to awaken us to the glories that we are and the glories that we can be when we open ourselves to Spirit. And I'd like to conclude with another prayer from Yogananda, which goes as follows. I am submerged in eternal light. It permeates every particle of my being. I am living in that light. The divine spirit fills me within and without. I am submerged in eternal light. It permeates every particle of my being. I am living in that light. The divine spirit fills me within and without. I am submerged in eternal light. It permeates every particle of my being. I am living in that light. The divine spirit fills me within and without. When we give thanks to the light around us, we give thanks to the guides, angels, masters, the one source, the light, and of course, Master Yeshua. We give thanks to ourselves and to each other for gathering. Once again, I'd like to thank John and Humankind for hosting us this evening. And again, Humankind will continue to offer more podcast events and wonderful things in the realms of spirituality and healing. In case you're not already watching on the website, it's humankind.center. And my website is theawakeninglight.com. That's theawakeninglight.com. Recently changed platforms. There are maybe a couple glitches, but info's there about my background and my offerings if you're curious. So it's my sincere hope that this has been a blessing for you this evening. And I hope you enjoyed your time with Yeshua. My hope is that you had a very personal experience. I do not know what it is, although I certainly felt some wonderful things and had my own. My intention is that you can have your own experience with Yeshua, and remember, you can do this anytime you would like. Love and blessings to all, in all times, in all dimensions. Shanti, peace, shalom, amen, aho, namaste. Thank you.